We are here 2 minutes early. Maybe we should log off and come back. Come back at a proper time when everybody will be coming on because they'll be ready. Or maybe I should log on at 2 minutes early every time. Because some people's clocks are set so differently from others, and we want to make sure that they don't log on early and get upset and say, "Where is this live feed? I can't find it." Just rambling through different keys there, no set tonic. It's kind of Broadway-ish. This is my hot tea for my throat. My dad decided he's going to start washing out disposable cups and spoons and forks. So this is a McDonald's coffee cup that was washed out and reused, and now it's holding a lot of 2 tea bags, mint tea, uncaffeinated with honey. All right, everybody, how are you? Shout out where you're from. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Puerto Rico, Eugene, Oregon. Hello, Washington State. When did Puerto Rico become part of the U.S.? Was it because in the 60s they say, "I like to live in America, living free in America, come with me with America, America." But technically Puerto Rico is America, so, and they couldn't sing that today. I wonder if they could sing it in the 60s and they were just being incorrect. Houston, Georgia, New Orleans, North Carolina, San Andreas, California, St. Louis, Washington State, Pennsylvania, Palm Harbor, Florida, Panama City, Florida. Yeah, I really think Hosh as in push. Oh, Hush as in push. Binghamton, New York. Bluegrass, Kentucky, Michigan, San Antonio. Hello. I really like to sing, but I really think singing is the worst thing right now because I still need my throat to heal. I think it might be a little better than last week, but I don't want to push it. Last week I sang it more hoarse than it was. After talking about how I wanted to rest it, I just made it worse. But whatever, that's what you do sometimes. You do the opposite of what you intend. Delaware, Chicago, California, Houston, Lilburn, Georgia, Baltimore. You know what? Every time I hear Baltimore, it used to be the harbor when I was little. Now it's the wire. That's what I think. Batavia, that transplant from Eastern Europe to Illinois. Oh, there we go, speaking German, just to prove me correct. Iowa. North Carolina. I wish I could type in like you guys. I think if I did it on a computer, I could probably type in to answer you. I don't know if anybody knows the answer to that. Because I want to save my voice, but I want to still talk. Rome, Georgia. That's another city that belongs in Europe. How'd it get over here? 1898. What are we talking about? Chicago, Ohio, another North Carolina, another Iowa. Okay. I am in This room, this is where I'm located, right in front of the door and the other door and the drums. I wonder if there's a liquid you could drink all day without it bothering your health besides water. I guess it depends on, because every other liquid is going to give you something like calories. So it depends on how your caloric intake is balanced. Now I have that song stuck in my head. La da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. Leonard Bernstein, who wrote the music for West Side Story, played around with all of the musical taboos. Back in the day, there were certain intervals you weren't supposed to use because they were too, what's the word? They sounded too eerie and creepy and distasteful. And going all the way back to religious times when music and religion was very fused, it still is in a lot of ways. People believed that certain intervals and tones were like supernaturally good or bad. Dissonant, there you go, discordant. Thank you, both of you. So a tritone, which sounds scarier than it is, like a three-forked evil thing, tritone, or like what that Seaman has, that isn't evil, it's just a three-pronged fork. But a tritone is called, oh man, I'm going to see if I'm going to remember what this is. Yeah, it's called a tritone because in music, the way we have our music organized in Western music, which is pretty much world music at this point, there's basically 12 notes from octave to octave. After you get past the 12, it starts over again, and you just have the same 12 again, just in a higher register. And but you don't use all those 12 notes. To make a scale, you pick 7 of them, and depending on where you pick your 7, that's what kind of scale you have. And usually as you're picking which 7, you do whole steps or half steps, which basically means of the 12 notes, sometimes you skip one and sometimes you go to the next one, because obviously if you're going to take 7 out of 12, you're going to have to skip a few and you're going to have a few next to each other. So when you skip one, it's called a whole tone. It's just what they call it. It doesn't really make sense, but so if you have two whole tones, 3 whole tones basically gets you to a weird interval where if you go from one note and do 3 whole tones to another note, it sounds very awful. And so you aren't supposed to do that interval anywhere in music. And you're not going to hear it in most music because it doesn't sound pleasant. And most people haven't found a way to make it sound good. And Leonard Bernstein said, I'm going to make it the central piece of one of the songs. And so he not only did use the tritone, he danced around back and forth and hit the tritone like crazy just to say, I can do whatever I want in music. And he did a lot of other intervals that are not as bad, but you're still not supposed to, like a full major 7th. I think that's what, or maybe it was a minor 7th. But he did the song Maria is another interval you're not supposed to use according to the traditional musical people. You're jumping almost the whole octave. You're like, that's an octave, but you're hitting the note right before. If I'm singing it right, I could very well be off key, but I'm still very rusty. As you saw last week, my guitar is very rusty. But as I get into it, it starts to come back slowly, and then I realize that, wow, I am really not just rusty, but not actually that good. But it's much better being at your best of not good than your rusty of not good. No, I just L. Lena, is that Lena? Just the L. I know a little bit of a lot of stuff. I know enough to make it look like I know something. There's very few things I know inside and out to the point where like I could sit there with an expert and be like, yeah, well, how about that? And they'd be like, that's a good point. You can make, if you play the black keys alone, Lena, that is the easiest way to make it sound like Asian, like traditional Chinese music. Try it sometime. Go to a piano and just bang on the black keys. Just hit the black keys anywhere. Just start hitting random black keys. It will sound instantly like traditional Chinese music. Guaranteed. Try it. Well, your screen name says L, so that's why people are going to call you L. Yeah, they said being a jack of all trades, master of none is actually a more well-rounded, healthy adult, one study showed. So I will claim that study. Bahamas. Best stone. That's not... the best way to start is to just pick something that you like how it looks and then look up a tutorial on how to do it and what stone to use. There's no best stone. That's like saying, what is that like saying? That's like saying if you're going to doodle, what is the best color to start with? It really doesn't matter. It's whatever color you like. Hi, Aaron. Oh, I didn't see Baxter here. Karen, you're sending Bell packages. So people who are not me, but are in this group, are sending packages to other people who are not me. It's like I send people packages and people send me packages. Thank you, Cleola. Oh yes, you posted a whole post about yours. That was super cool. I save a lot of money by cutting my own nails with my other nails while I'm fidgeting, while I'm thinking about other things. No, people are sending other people packages now. This is like, I didn't know this was happening. This is a crazy development. Like I send packages, people send packages to me, I send packages back to people. Now people are sending packages to people, and I didn't even hear about it. Laurie, so I bet people are just talking to people, just on their own, completely without me being in the present. Oh, Karen is gonna break out singing. Helen, you have to go to the Facebook group. There's a new Facebook group for kits. I don't know what the link is, but message me or anybody else in this group, because apparently everybody likes to talk to people when I'm not there. So message them and ask them how to get to the group, and they'll help you out because most of them are pretty helpful. Drums is like my number 4 instrument. I basically grew up around a lot of music in different communities, and there was always bands around, and I was just banging on whatever instruments are available. So I kind of I mean, I had formal piano lessons for like maybe a year and a half. I kept quitting teachers when I was a kid. I was terrible. My parents kept trying to get me to go back, um, and then I picked up guitar on my own, and then I just messed around with drums and bass guitar. Um, I mean, if people want to talk to people, I guess they can talk to people, but they should, I don't know, at least be like, hey, Matt, just want to let you know I'm going to talk to this other person who I'm friends with, and they're going to talk back to me. And I'll be like, okay, that's fine, you can do that. But like then when you get to the level of sending packages, like it's a little scary. The voice, I think the voice is one of the hardest instruments because fretless instruments tend to be harder. The voice has no frets. You hit the note right on, or you let everybody know in the room that you did not hit the note right on. Anarchy, Tim. I know it's anarchy. People who love people. I know. Lavender Lace is already singing. Karen was about to bust out with "We Are Family" earlier. Oh, Lori, why? Thank you. Cleola said that. My teaching videos. You saw the Expert Village ones. Erin has frets on her vocal cords. She plays them like this. I don't have kittens. My sister has kittens. Kitties. Yes. Domino is almost made a full recovery, and Sophie is being her little ballerina self. Well, Ms. Sarable, it is terrifying, but I managed to hide my emotions quite well, so you'll never know it. Oh yeah, Aaron found another song. Domino, for those who weren't following, he got bitten by some animal outside. We still don't know what kind of animal. The two red bite marks on his side are so far apart they can't be fangs, and if they are fangs, it's a big animal. My dad was thinking maybe a chicken hawk tried to pick him up and he was too heavy. We don't know, but basically he wasn't eating or drinking for several days, and he was acting lethargic and he wouldn't move, and every time you touched him he'd scream. And I made a whole video saying goodbye because he's old for a cat, and we thought this just must be it. Might be kidney failure or something, at least one of our other cats. And then my dad, being the detective he is, he should have become a detective. He's just messing with him, and Domino's screaming. If he was a meaner cat, he would have bitten him, but he just kept screaming like, stop it. And then he found like there's a lump on his whole back that was swollen. And every time he touched it, he would scream, and he said, aha, has a swelling, he has an infection. And we were going to take him to the vet the next day, but we said, let's try something. So he got an eyedropper. He started force feeding him water so he could get him hydrated. And then, and he was fighting, spitting it out. At least he had a little bit of fight in him left, but he wasn't walking much or anything. And then my dad found these 5 pills left from these antibiotics he had been taking like a couple years earlier when he also got bitten. So he took tweezers, and I held his mouth open, and he shoved the antibiotic down, and I rubbed his throat to make him swallow. It was a teeny tiny pill. So there was a twice-a-day pill. So for the next 2.5 days, we gave him these antibiotics. And then I found, because he wasn't eating or drinking, I found this paste. It's like toothpaste, but it's for cats so that they don't get hairballs. It's like a medicine, but it tastes really good. It has like catnip in it. And I squeezed some of the paste out, and he started licking it. So he was at least getting some nutrients that way. And then the next day he was like 50% better. So we didn't take him to the vet, and we said, let's wait and see. We kept giving him the antibiotics. And then the next day he was another 25% better. And then sure, you can come see him. And now he's like, it's been a week and a half. He's like about 90% better. It's hard to tell because he was for the last year kind of slowing down, like not he doesn't like run and jump as well. We think his joints are a little sore. He doesn't like if he has to jump up to a couch or a bed, he like braces himself like he's not sure he wants to do it. Um, but he seems to be pretty much full recovery. And weird scenario, I had this dinosaur mask I wore for these videos a couple of years ago, and my nephew who's 4 years old dug it up and tried it on, and then he put it down on the floor. And Domino, there's something in it smells. First we thought Domino just loves my nephew, but something my dad thinks is chemical in the mask, and he just went crazy over that mask while he was recovering. He had to curl up. The mask was flat on the ground. This big, ugly dinosaur mask with rubber teeth and big scary thing. And he had to lay on it and curl up inside it and bury his head in it. And if you were walking towards the mask and he wasn't on top of it, he would come running across the room and jump on it and look at you like, "Don't you touch my mask," which was crazy because he hadn't been running at all. So anyway, now he's back out. He only goes to the bathroom outside, and he has to defend the property. I mean, it's sad that he gets in these fights with these animals, but if he didn't keep the animals off our yard, like who else would do it? Not Sophie. Sophie is like a little ballerina. She would just sidle up next to the raccoon and be like, "Hi, I'm your friend." Yeah, so once he was better and it hurt to even lay a certain way because of that big swelling. So he was like really like he had to sit in a weird way. But when he finally felt better enough to actually lay on his side, I let him go up on my bed because he loves my bed, and I gave him lots of petting, and he was super purring like he does. Teddy is doing awesome. Lydia, who adopted him, loves him. Every week she tells me how much her and him are having the best time ever, and she spoils him, and so that's good. The new space is awesome. There's no customers yet, but just using it turned into a stone kit making center, and it's really with the new person helping me, she's really awesome. She just is super ultra cleaning person, and so I always wanted to be clean and organized, but I always wanted to make things and make messes faster than I wanted to clean. So now this is working out great because she cannot tolerate clutter or mess or dirt, and she works very hard, so very fast. So there's stuff is like I have like one of the cleanest studios I've ever had, and I have my stuff organized better than it's ever been. And the rent is funny. I don't want to really get into the business part of it right now, partly because I don't want to put that on the internet, but also partly because I'm still talking to management and I don't want anything to get out there, you know. But at the moment, nobody cares about me. They're freaking out. I imagine all the top brass of the management, they're freaking out because they have an entire mall to handle this unpredicted situation. Like they have giant stores with millions and millions of dollars that are not being made. And rent, do they ask for the full rent? Do they have to? What do the stores do? Are the stores going to go out of business? And we're talking, I mean, giant stores, Target, Macy's, stuff like that. Like, and then smaller stores, medium-sized stores, all these stores they have to deal with. They don't care about me, little old me. They're not bothering me, which is fine because I am making stone kits like crazy. Well, should and shouldn't is a whole, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, is a landlord supposed to charge rent? What if he still has to pay the mortgage? Like, is the bank not supposed to ask for the mortgage? Like, so everyone has to pay someone, and everyone has to, I mean, that's why this is such a huge mess. As much as I'm super thankful that I have a place to go every day. I work 12 hours a day and I'm so grateful, so grateful. But I feel for everyone else. Like, I feel for all those business owners, people who spent 20 years saving up their life savings to buy a restaurant or a bar or something, and they opened it in 2020. Wow. Like, what's going to happen with them? Um, with somebody in all caps, I'm not really, I'm like kind of perusing the comments. I'm not behind, but I'm like, I'm not reading every single one. If there's anything, if somebody asks me a direct question, please repeat it 3 times till I get it. I should keep drinking. I can feel my voice starting to get. Well, Lena, that is a nice thought, but right now they don't even know who I am. They just know that um, I barely got to meet them. I met one manager once and talked to her on the phone several times, and then I talked to another manager on the phone, and that was it. Like, they don't even know me hardly at all, and I'm sure they're freaking out, running around trying to handle their own stuff. Cal Bell, I'm selling on Etsy. I'm selling kits through the Facebook group, Matt's Crazy Art, but now it got so big I started a new group called Stone Bead Kits, which I invited all the people from the Facebook group to come to, and so I'm selling through that and just using PayPal, and I still have my Etsy up, and then there's other little streams of revenue here and there. So, and then people are super generous. I want to really try to. There's so many people that need a kit. Every time I put out a kit, 100 other people are upset they didn't get it in time. So I'm going to say this: if anybody at all has extra art supplies laying around, do not give me stuff that you're using. Do not give me stuff you need. It's not that bad. But if you have stuff that is not a style you use anymore, or stuff that you bought, like I would buy a string of 10 stones when I only needed one. That's how I accumulated a lot. That's one way. But if you have a lot of stuff that is in your craft room that you're not going to use probably, and you want to send it, message me, contact me, because we are taking, I guess, people. There's as many as 3 or 4 people now sending us a box of stuff that they find, and we break it all up and put it into kits. And the kits are going for we started them at $10, but that was ridiculous. Literally 20 of them sold out on Etsy in like 5 minutes. So we figured that was too low. So then we did 28, 32. Then we started auctioning them, and some people would bid them up really high just because they wanted to make it their way of donating so we could have money to buy more stuff. But I can't even order stuff. I was chopping up more deer antlers. I was trying to figure out a way how to melt glass in what's it called? I have a microwave kiln that I barely used much, but there's a way you can melt glass in it. I was trying to make glass pendants, but basically people want them so fast. So the short answer is we're pricing each one different. We're trying to do really low priced ones for people who don't have funds, and then we're auctioning others off, and they go really high. They get up to 80, 90, 100, depending on who's bidding and how much they want them and what stones we put in them. Joe Fryer, I'm just going to write you down. Is that your name, Joe Fryer? And I'm going to say, come to what's the easiest way to do this? We'll do facebook.com/macrazart. It's Matt's Crazy Art abbreviated. Go here and then message me. Send me a message, a a message through Facebook Messenger, and then I'll give you all the info. But and if you do send me a box, whether you want to be anonymous or whether you think this is cool or whether you don't care, you automatically have your box featured in a video, because everybody loves to see me open the box, see what kind of stuff I'm going to pull out, and know that that stuff is going to end up in kits. I do have a Patreon. I feel embarrassed even talking about it. I feel like Patreon is for like really much bigger people, but this one guy who I haven't seen in a while, I hope he's doing well. This drill sergeant guy, he kept forcing me, telling me I better get a Patreon, and he was one of the early people who would send me boxes of stuff, so I felt obligated. So yes, I have a Patreon. It is Patreon. I don't even know what the link is, but basically, if you go on Patreon, it's Matt's Crazy Art. I think it's all one word. I think I have like 9 people on there, so go to Patreon and look up Matt's Crazy Art, all one word, no apostrophe, MATTS Crazy Art on Patreon. Yes, I have a Patreon. And the 9 people on Patreon, I sincerely appreciate them, every single one of them. But I used to, Dan, that's it, Dan Baldwin, he was the guy, and he'd say, Matt, you need to tell people about your Patreon in every video. And I was for a while, but then I just felt like, I don't know, I just feel like I don't know. I don't like to promote myself. I'm quite shy, in case you haven't noticed. I'm scared of the camera. Are the people gone yet? I don't want to come out. Granada. Oh, Gene, I know you. I see you all the time. Oh, Mary, don't give up. Come to the kits group. We're going to try tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to try to do a blitz and see how many kits I can get out in one day. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to maybe see if we can put out 10 kits in one day, like something insane. Yeah, I know. I'm bad with Patreon. First of all, I set my Patreon levels. If you donate a certain amount, I give you something back, and I'm behind. I owe like 3 different people something. I'm terrible at that. I don't like to keep up with that stuff. So I should probably set my levels with just here. If you want to get on it, get on it. But I don't like, people do Patreon and, oh, if you get to this level, you get free this. If you get to this level, then you get to see my secret videos that nobody else sees, or you get to have a one-on-one chat. And I'm like terrible at technology. I have too much to deal with. So I don't have time to follow that. So that's why that's another reason I don't really promote it. But you can definitely find me. How did I get into jewelry making? There is a whole video on that. I would answer it, but I want to save my voice this evening because it's getting a little hoarse. So Kimmy, I would say go to Matt's Crazy Art. It's literally called Long Boring Story of How I Got into Art. You got to type that whole thing. Matt's Crazy Art, Long Boring Story of How I Got into Art. If you type half of it, the algorithm will probably find it for you. But it's like a 30-minute video where I tell all about it and I doodle the whole time, and it's absolutely dreadful. Patreon, it comes from the word patron, which is the word they use to describe people with money who would support artists so that they could keep doing art back in the day when artists really would starve if they weren't able to sell their art. So Patreon is it's a website. It's like a fundraising site. It's a website for artists and creatives and anyone who is online who has a presence, mostly YouTube, but also, any other platform, where people are like, if you like what I do and you want to support me, come here and pledge $1 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month. People who have money, who really want to support someone, it could go up as high as I've seen people but have levels set for like hundreds of dollars or whatever. So I was like, all right, what the heck? I did like 5, 10, 25. Um, but I didn't really expect anybody to go there. And like 6 months later, there's like 9 people there. So that's super awesome. Um, so that's Patreon. It's where you can just pledge to support someone for like a certain amount of money a month. It's weird. Singing doesn't bother my throat, like la 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 la, but talking slowly does. But I think the singing does more damage. I think this because after I do a lot of singing and then I go to talk, it's harder. So let's get into the water now that we're done the tea. Well, Lena, I appreciate that. I guess yeah, people give tons of money to political candidates, but like political candidates, they're famous. They're like on TV, like I'm going to change everything. I'm so much better than that guy. That guy is gonna ruin it. I'm gonna make everything better. Send your money to me. That's how politicians talk. Yes, I could do T-shirts and I could have them under the video. Like you can buy Matt's Crazy Art T-shirts. I thought about that. I want to do that. Like I want to draw. I want to paint each T-shirt myself if I had the time. Lancaster, hello Kim. Oh, Julie, that's super amazingly awesome. I love it. Okay, anybody else who talked to me during this rambling, I'm not ignoring you. Just repeat what you said because I miss half the stuff. They lie and I make art. It's a good thing I don't talk too much, or do I? Silk screen, no, Karen. That's probably on number 13 on my list of things I need to learn. The next thing I really want to learn is I want to learn how to, and I think I'm going to try it in the next week or two, is to melt glass in my microwave kiln and make slump pendants. Like it's called slumping, where you melt the glass where it doesn't totally turn liquid. It just starts to like get soft, and you can fuse glass together. You can put pieces of glass together, and they start to just get soft, like some picture like in the microwave, like something where it's just turning into liquid but not quite, and it's like a gel, and it just starts to like ooze. The glass gets that hot and starts to ooze, and then you stop it right there and let it cool, and then you have like this cool fused piece. I think I want to do that next. Now I really would love to do glass blowing torch work to make glass pieces, but that's really expensive and dangerous. Like you have to have a real good trainer and be real careful, because that's a challenging art, but it's super amazing. I think I might need a new microwave, because I have a little dinky microwave. It's brand new, but it's dinky. And even food, I feel like it doesn't heat up as fast. And I was asking someone, is like a microwave? Like if you just buy it today, if you buy a brand new microwave, even if it's a small one, are they all heating the same? Or do big ones actually heat more powerfully? And what's it called? This one, it seems like it takes an extra minute and a half to cook what would normally take food a minute, but I'm not a microwave expert. I grew up without one, so I don't know that much about microwaves. How do you tag someone? I don't know. Somebody tell her. I didn't know. Checking the wattage sounds really difficult. It sounds like a lot of work. Higher money equals better quality. 700 and 1100. Okay, so that's the standards. I'll look at mine. If mine is 700, I will look at if it needs 1100, and if it's 1100, I'll just get another one, because I don't know if I should use the same one for my glass slumping that I use for food. It's probably not going to hurt the food, but labels. I know reading is like so, like, It's hard. I don't know why people like they do it, but there's a serial number on the back. Ew, this water tastes funny. Maybe it's just the tea in the back of my throat. Drinking water after tea. So far I hear there's 700 and 1100. Why is everybody saying hi to Cowbell? Cowbell, you're becoming semi-popular now. What's up with that? Cowbell promoted me from a shop to a ship. I'm now setting up my ship to go sail. Yes, Miss Sarah Abel, I need to do more pottery. The pottery places are closed, obviously. I do have a small kiln, a real kiln in my basement for pottery, but I didn't use it in forever, and it's kind of tricky, and it was starting to die back when I stopped using it years ago, so I don't know. That's right, Tim. That's how you find out what the wattage is. You shake the chicken bone, and then you sing the chicken song. Like you take like it's spooky. You take these chicken bones. It's this ritual. You shake these chicken bones, and you get up close to the microwave. And you have your two chicken bones like this. This is real creepy. Don't get creeped out, guys. Like, don't have nightmares after this. Take the two chicken bones and you get real close to the microwave, and you're like, and then you go like this, and then you got to sing the chicken song, and it's like this. Pay attention. It's very scary. Don't do it in front of your kids. They're gonna get creeped out, and they'll be like, "Mom, why did you do that?" So you take the chicken bones, and you go, or they'll be like, "Dad, no, don't sing that song." You get real close to the microwave, and you go. And then you got to grab your kids and make them all get in a circle, and you got to go. Beverly, veg head, 20 gauge. 20 gauge is standard. It's strong enough to make structure, but it's thin enough to do threading. But from there, you're going to quickly find that you want to try many different gauges. But you can make a lot with just a spool of 20 gauge and some stones or beads. Cereal has letters, Miss Sarah Ubble. Cereal, like alphabets. Do they still make alphabets? The cheapest place bare wire, the cheapest place if you want the stuff that tarnishes, like pure copper, is Rio Grande online. If you want the coated wire, the cheapest is parawire.com. I believe it. I believe you have done that with your son, and he laughs. A little bit of tea left. Hello, Kelly. You're just thinking, Kelly, our baby. If you know what that's from, then there's something probably half wrong with you. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, Aaron. Yeah, Rio Grande has the best prices for large amounts of bare copper wire, but they don't have a lot of other selection of wire, so Kelly, oh baby. Thank you, Lena. That was all at the request of this lady. She said, I want some rings. And I said, okay, I'll make you some rings and I'll turn the camera on. Well, Tim, if there was something right with you, then you wouldn't be here. This is the place for all the misfits and miscreants. Apparently, they're all gathering together and messaging each other behind my back. How long has this been going on? How long has it been going on? How do you spell abalone? I don't know, and the world shall never know. It's a mystery. That's pretty much how you spell abalone. Earthisflat. Abalone. Fettuccine. So I'm just being lazy tonight, letting you guys set the agenda. Now that you are all just used to talking to each other, I might as well just sit back like this and just let you talk. But anybody ask anything, I will do my best to answer. Ah, baloney. Lori, that was funny. That was super funny. I'm going to use that if I ever remember it. Excuse me. Okay, everybody quick sanitize, just in case. Got to be safe. The tuning on my guitar is standard, except I didn't use a tuner, so the whole thing might be off standard key, but it's still, the strings are tuned to each other like standard. James, the best way to deal with substitutions is just to try something that looks like it could work, but it looks like it's going to be a little scary, and just do it. Just use beads you wouldn't use and wire you wouldn't use in a way you wouldn't use, and just do it. And you probably are not going to get what you want, but you'll 50% chance to discover something new, and it'll open up all kinds of new stuff for you. That's what I say. I don't find good quality chain. I basically find really cool chain that looks awesome and tarnishes within a year, but I find it on Amazon. Thank you, Lena. That's so sweet of you. I I often know people who need inhalers. I myself have never needed one. Um, I have uh, I have been trying to get my voice back because I was really sick like 3.5 weeks ago. Apparently, there's something going around that's like makes you cough a lot. I don't know if you've heard, but it's been almost a month now, and I still am hoarse. I don't know if I coughed so much that I like really, hopefully, didn't damage my vocal cords too much, but I'm still a little bit hoarse every day, and so I'm trying to. Let me see. Ooh, yeah, I can't hit the high registers at all. You hear that? That used to be a very clear, scary sound, but it's clear. So hmm. Don't drink icy cold liquids? Really? I thought hydrating is good whether it's hot or cold. Can icy liquids actually be bad? I'm going to have to look that up. I have never heard that. I mean, I heard hot liquids are add an extra amount of soothingness, but I never thought the Willow, yeah, exactly. Well, Chris, I don't know. I haven't been tested, so I can't prove if I have or have not. And every time I try to get tested, I was turned away because they want to save the tests for people who are like way more serious. So we have to wait until they get around to testing everyone, and then I'll know. I've shown ways. What have I shown ways? I am just a little pony. I like an ocean pony, like one of those cute little ponies in the ocean that has a little tail that curls around. Ocean pony. Yeah, I'm not tired. I come across tired because of my voice. It sounds like I'm tired. I'm not tired tonight. I could go like 3 hours, but I won't because I want to save my voice. They'll be after your plasma. Give us your plasma. Hand it over. Oh, goodness. Rachel, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, they can plead with me. I'm totally happy to donate. Um, Plasma is the easiest to give, as far as I know, because like you can just make more plasma. Your body makes more plasma like every. I think it takes like a week or something for it to regenerate the plasma, whereas the red blood cells take like a whole month to regenerate once you donate like a pint. Although I'm not sure if you just have to donate the blood and then they take the plasma out of it. I don't know if you, I don't think you can just donate plasma. I think they have to separate it in a centrifuge. I could be wrong. Oh, really? Cold Nick. Okay, so cold liquids like ice numb the throat, and then you end up using your voice too much because you don't feel the warning signals telling you that you're going too hard on your throat. That makes sense. Thank you for explaining that. So like cold water doesn't hurt your throat. It's just if you're going to drink cold water afterwards, you don't want to be talking because you'll probably push your voice too hard. Oh, that's neat. Dissolve like cough drops into hot water and sip it. That's smart. Uh, Tequila always works. there's there's this guy. Um, there's this video where this guy is like it's karaoke and he's sitting there and he's like, and the song is just playing and playing and playing, and you're like, what is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? And he's just like, and the song is playing and playing and playing and playing, and then like 2/3 of the way through the song, he goes with the microphone, tequila, and then you realize, oh yeah, it's that song. I don't know why that's so dumb. It just cracks you up when you're not expecting it. Why do I not see Baxter Monkey? I like see people talking to Baxter Monkey, and I don't see. There she is. Okay. Sorry. That wasn't me. Cycle it back in your body. Yeah, Tigra. I think that does make sense because else, why else would they say, "Oh, it's better to just give plasma or it's faster"? Because you can give it more times in a month. I think regular blood you're only supposed to donate like every 2 months because your body needs to regenerate. But plasma you can donate like every week or every 2 weeks or something. What's AGT? It sounds like a home defense system. Like trust ADT with your home defense. Miserable. That's because you don't bust in there right after coming from the bar because you thought it was a good idea to donate plasma. Like, hey guys, would some of you like some plasma? And they're like, ma'am, we're not even open right now. You're like, let me in. I want to give some plasma. That's not the right way to do it. That's why they won't let you. You have to come during regular hours. What? 200 a month? 2 times a week? Are you serious? I should tell my friend who's always trying to make a quick buck doing anything but work. He would love that. He probably already knows it though. He like knows everything. Oh yeah, another way, if you want to get copper wire, the cheapest, I think even cheaper than Rio Grande, but the gauge is very limited, and you don't mind if it tarnishes. Go right to a large hardware store at Home Depot anyway, at least, and I'm pretty sure Lowe's. They have big spools of wire made for electricians, and you can just buy it by the foot, and it's like 1/4 the price of the anywhere else. But that stuff is not coated, and you have to basically know how to use wire that's not coated, which means you're either going to let it tarnish or you have to purposely tarnish it to get the look you want. Michael is here. Everybody, he's shy, so I won't tell his secret, but I will anyway. Michael, everybody say hi. He's the one who created those plaques that some of you have seen in the Kits Stone group. The plaques that say, the wooden plaques that say, not all angels have wings, some wear scrubs. And he made a bunch of them, and I four of them sold so far, and I'm working on some wood to give him so he can make some more, and he might be making some more already. So if anybody wants to get a plaque for someone, a nurse, doctor, or anyone in healthcare to thank them for the hard job they're doing right now, he sells these plaques, and they're easy to mail. They're about the size of a license plate, but it's real wood, and he has a machine that carves it out in 3D, and it has angel wings, and then it has a heartbeat on the bottom, like a little thing like that, and then in the top middle it says, not all angels have wings, some wear scrubs. So yeah, but other than that, that's Michael. When he's not making those plaques, he just lives in a van down by the river, and he just shucks walnut shells, and he takes the little walnut shells and he makes them into little teeny tiny bird baths for hummingbirds. That's his other main life ambition. He sells bird baths to hummingbird aficionados. Karen wants 2 of them. See, there you go, Michael. And I can vouch for Karen because she has been with me forever, and she is the one who sent that one of the boxes I opened this week on video. So, no way. Your daughter wire wrap, that's amazing. His daughter is very young. Do 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 do. So I'm just being lazy. Anybody else ask some questions, tell some stories? I'm just playing with my robotic dinosaur. Rah, 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 rah. I actually cut some wood for Michael today. I wanted to try plywood because he was using nice wood, and I thought I have a lot of plywood to see if that works. I cut pieces just the right way, and then just as I was about to paint them, I looked at them and said, "Oh man, I wasted my time. This is not going to work," because the surface of them was so uneven, and I know his machine carves into the surface, and sometimes it carves very shallow, and if it's not, if the surface isn't totally even, the words are going to come out all like blurry and off and on. So I'm just gonna have to go down to the hardware store and get a nice solid piece of pine. Yes, Dino is here. Dino, you should meet Michael. Michael has his own channel, and he's actually on his channel. He is talking now about how he's using his machine. He's giving people tutorials on how to use, because it's like a CNC machine, I think it's called. It's a machine that carves into wood to make plaques and stuff. And Dino has his own channel where he takes hangers and other wire, but mostly used hangers, and makes whole wire sculptures. And he plays guitar, and I think he plays bass, and he's pretty hilarious. And both Michael and Dino, you should give each other a subscription, because then you'll each get another subscription. And they're just both very nice people, and they're both dads, and they both have kids, which is kind of the same thing. And they both make cool videos. So yeah. And yeah, I haven't watched one of Dino's videos in a little while now. I got to go check out his new stuff. You know what? I'm gonna put that on my list, Dino, because I want to get a wire hanger and make a necklace and some earrings. Because all those people in quarantine that can't get a hold of wire, they definitely have hangers laying around probably, and that will be helpful. So I will say this video is dedicated to Dino 1027. Michael's channel name is Michael Torella. I think it's in his screen name up here. Is he still here? Did you leave, Michael? He might have left. Where'd he go? There he is. You scroll up a little bit if you can scroll like I can. It's Michael Torella. Last thing he said was, my daughter wire wrapped today. I think that's he started his channel like 10 years ago, like back when oh no, actually I think anybody, you can have duplicate names on channels. I think you can make your channel anything you want. It's not like Gmail where you have to pick something nobody has ever picked. Why do I keep missing what Baxter Monkey is saying? Oh, see, Baxter Monkey sent me a bunch and I ignored them. I also ignored that comment by accident. What sent me a bunch of what? Thank you, Rick Sumner. Thank you, Lena. I don't feel nice right now. I need my voice to heal. I also don't like how I sound. Anybody ever hear how they sound on a tape recorder for the first time and be like, my entire life I've sounded that horrible and nobody stopped me from talking? Because in your head, you have a nice deep resonance when you hear your voice. I don't know if it's as different for women as men, but for men, you have this nice deep resonance. And then when you speak, people hear you a little thinner and a little higher. And then when it's played back on tape, oftentimes it comes back even thinner and maybe even a little higher, because tape isn't, depending on the type of recording, it's not always as thick as the natural sound in the natural room with the natural resonance. So basically you hear yourself on tape and you sound like this. Oh my goodness. Wow. I sound amazing. Like that weird character from that 90s sitcom that took over the whole show when he was supposed to just be the next door neighbor. But yeah, so you're like, my entire life, I actually sounded like this, and nobody was like, can you please stop talking? Because if I knew I sounded like this, I would just be like, I'm going to stay quiet now. I'm just going to communicate with pad and pencil, because do not want people to think I'm scary, and I right now think myself am quite scary. So Rachel confirms this is the same. Women do not like their voice hearing it for the first time, and from a recording. Althea does not have that problem. Miss Terrible is contagious, so thankfully she's quarantining herself right now. Right, honey owlet moon. You can become a who's that comedian who talks like this all the time? And actually, he doesn't talk like that in real life, and nobody would know it. But oh my gosh, he talks like that only 10 times worse. I'm not even gonna try it. It's gonna hurt my throat. Yes, that's it. Tim remembered the name of that guy in the sitcom. But who's the comedian who talks like that? Um, yeah, video is even weirder because depending on the lighting, because you see yourself in the mirror and whatever you're used to it. But yeah, depending on the lighting, um, video, yeah, you see angles of yourself you never saw in the mirror. You see how you look when you're, yeah, pretty much those angles, and you're like, and then there's sometimes the lighting will cast shadows in weird places, and you'll be like, oh my gosh. There's some meme, some joke on the internet about how like the worst. Um, no, not Pee Wee Herman. No, not Steve Urkel. There's a comedian. I can't remember his name. I don't really follow him too much, but he's notorious. Like, oh my gosh, he just talks like that. He's older. Yeah, Gilbert Gottfried. That's it. Thank you. And I think Gilbert Gottfried's real voice is actually totally normal and boring and monotone, kind of like this. And if you heard him talk normal, you would be super creeped out because it sounds almost scarier. I think I heard him once and it was like, oh, that's scary. Yeah, it's his voice is supposed to be grating. That's part of the comedy. Like you're supposed to hate him, but you can't stop laughing at the same time. Make sure this water didn't go bad. I don't think water can go bad, but who knows? I think it just tasted funny after I had all that tea with honey. Garry Shandling. I have not seen or heard of him for years. Yeah, I could picture his face too, Dino. Oh, he was the parrot in Aladdin. Yeah, yeah. Bobcat Goldthwait. I've seen that name before, but I have no idea if I know who that is. No, that's the thing. Gilbert Godfrey always talks that way in public. He doesn't want anyone to know how he really talks, but he actually doesn't talk that way in real life. He developed the character. I'm pretty sure this is right. He developed the character for so long that nobody has ever heard him talk normal. At least on as long as there's a camera in front of him, you're going to hear that crazy voice. Well, water can go bad if something gets in it. Like if you drink some water and then close it up again and leave it, like the bacteria from your mouth can start to whatever, and but I think it's really hard for water to go bad in general. I mean, water, like bottled water. I mean, bad to the point where it can like make you sick because there's really not much in there. Mostly just water. Oh yeah, I think I'm too young for Police Academy. I know of it, but like I was like a little kid when that was popular. I'm not I'm too tired to follow that, James. What you're saying? My hand model, Sarah. Oh, she is in another city now because I moved, but she is doing quite well as far as I know. Um, yeah, that doesn't sound good. If water tastes like a shoe, that would not be good. Hmm. And some, anyone else have any other questions? No, yes, no. Kel Bell is leaving. Well, I guess everyone else will leave now because she's the star. Yeah, this is a very lazy night. If you guys are fine with that, we're just hanging out because it's lazy. My new assistant is known in the in the Stone Kits group as Taylor. And she does not show her face. You might have caught her face a couple times, but she mostly prefers when I shoot video, if she's wearing a piece, I come across every part except here. No, there's no updates on the store. It's basically turned into a kit making factory right now because there's no customers in the malls. Oh yeah, James, I want to do huge projects. That's all I want to do is big giant projects, but I'm working on it. The kits have just taken over for a couple weeks. Reclaimed wire from various electronics. See, that sounds really fun. Yeah, I don't feel tired. I probably give the impression that I am tired because my voice sounds bleh and I'm very low energy tonight. But I'm definitely on a better schedule. So whereas the person you knew before would stay up till 3 in the morning, so 9 to 11 for me was like nothing. Now I'm going to bed at like 11:45, 11:30. So this is getting towards the end of my night like a normal person. Um, it's really good to be on a real human schedule. Yeah, the original Baxter monkey was the one who had the idea for the kits, and her original plan was when she was sending all those lapis lazuli cabochons, that I just take one cabochon and one, like maybe X amount of feet of wire, like 5 or 10 feet of wire, maybe two different gauges, and I do a tutorial on how to wrap the cabochon and make a pendant, and then I include jump rings and maybe a chain or a cord, and I give you everything you need to make one necklace, and then I sell that kit for like 15 bucks or 10 bucks or something, and then every stinking cabochon she sent me could be a whole kit. And I didn't pick up on that, so I just started putting the cabochons and all my extra supplies that I didn't use anymore into these giant, or into these little plastic cases, but with a lot of stuff packed in, and selling those kits. And at first I sold them for 10 bucks. That was ridiculous. I was losing money on that. And then I sold them for 25 and then 30, and then I started auctioning them, and they went all the way up to like over 100. And then finally she's like, I meant for you to just do like one little teeny tiny kit with each stone. So that's something I'm thinking about and planning maybe still, but right now I'm just overwhelmed with doing this. And it is really fun making the stone and bead kits for people, like making each one different, running around trying to find what more can I put, what new stuff have I gotten in the mail that I can add in these kits, or what new box did I open that I forgot I still had these that I don't use anymore. Excuse me, but somebody might like them and I'll throw some of those in. It's really fun actually, but it's like tiring when you're trying to make 10 of them in a day and you're trying to make them all kind of match, and then you're trying to like package them all and mail them and message people for their information and write it all down, and like yeah, I could sell kits in my store. However, you guys, you are my art family. The people who come to my store in general are almost never artists. Once in a while, they're usually just jewelry consumers. They just want to buy jewelry. But I could. I think I'll be totally out of stones to make kits by the time the store opens. Yeah, I want to really focus on that. Lena, I would really eventually like to get back to making whole pieces of furniture. I was making really wild, crazy coffee tables and bookshelves with like really crazy like stuff engraved on the sides, and the shape of them wasn't straight lines. It was like curves and fun stuff, with all kinds of stained colors mixed in with the wood and burned patterns. That was really fun. I did that years ago. That's what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how to sell it back then. But that's what I want to come around back to eventually. Yeah, no more late night crafting. By midnight, I'm pretty much gone. I'm like, and then by like 7:30 in the morning, I'm like, which is I've never been that way before. It's really helped. Um, it's a lot of reasons for that I can't get into, but basically, with this whole quarantine thing, I am able to go to work, but I'm not able to stay past 9. And my assistant wakes up really early, so I either go and pick her up early and get to work and get my hours in before 9, or I don't, or I lose the day. And that's forced me to get up earlier and earlier and go to bed earlier and earlier. And so I'm turning into an actual normal human instead of a night owl that stays up till 5 in the morning. I mean, I'd still put in long hours. I'm still a workaholic. Like, I'd still put in 10 or 12 or 14 hours. But there's times I'd wake up at 1 in the afternoon and start my day at 2, get out of the shower and be fully caffeinated and fed and ready to go at 3 in the afternoon. You guys didn't know this. And then I would start making videos, and you'd see the first video come out around 5 or 6 in the afternoon. And then I would just keep working, and then the mall would close at 9, and I'd keep working and working, and then around 1 in the morning I'd go home, but I'd keep making videos at home, and then I'd go back to bed at like 5 in the morning. And so I was technically still putting in a lot of work, but it was really unhealthy. Like, nobody's awake at that time. I'm a super extrovert, so I feed off of the energy of other people. So I was like cycling in and out of all kinds of nutty, depressive states, and I would fight them, but it was stupid. Like, it was like I should have just been waking up earlier and going to bed on time, like when all the rest of the humanity does, most of them that don't have to be up in the middle of the night for a job. Artists have admin blocks. What are admin blocks? Yes, I am going to do consignment. I'm planning on that, Willow. The front of my store is so humongous. It would be hard for me to make enough art to fill it up. But yeah, I plan to do consignment and have other artists have their stuff in there. Oh, well, honey, I feel like I'm calling you honey. I technically am. Enjoy your dinner. See, Dino, I always envied people like you. My best friend since I was a little kid, like, he's the earliest riser he'll pop up at 5 a.m. every day when he doesn't have to. And by 9, he's like, and I'm like, that's when I'm at my height of my energy at 9 normally, if you just let me live my life and be completely irresponsible. Alaska. Good night. Isn't Alaska really early right now? Isn't it like 5 in the afternoon or something? I don't know. Yeah, I'm taking kits home to do another video, like a late night wire wrap, like because I don't have any supplies at home, so I'll take like a little pencil box full of some wires, some tools, a couple stones, and and then I take that box and I set it down and then I go to bed. And then the next morning I pick up the box and carry it back to work and I never use it anymore. Start your day at 1 a.m. What kind of job was that? James, you're the guy who does all the um tumbling, right? Am I right? I want to get a small tumbler from maybe from Harbor Freight, which is like the discount version of a Home Depot or Lowe's. I want to get a small one just to tumble like, a few pieces. So I don't know if you have any suggestions for me. I don't want to spend too much, but I also don't want to be dumb and spend too little. Dino, I play all the band instruments. Like I said earlier, I grew up around a lot of musical people and bands and stuff. So I play piano, guitar, drums, and bass guitar. And I've played around a little on a harmonica. I'd like to get better at it, but I can pretty much, I mean, I can't pick up any of those instruments right now and just play like an expert. I can't read sheet music, but I can put notes together and I can compose. And if you give me some recording equipment and you give me those four instruments, I can make an entire song with like 5 to 8 tracks, and everything will fit together like as if there were 5 different band members playing. I can play each one, and I really want to do videos like that. I'm not good at the tech side, so every time I try to get recording stuff going, like I get some glitch, and then I get stuck, and I get frustrated. So I hired this whole guy to help me set up this whole little tiny recording studio, and then I never got really good at using it, and I got to hire him to come back and tutor me on it. But I just keep putting it off too. Well, I thank you, Dino. I'm assuming I know you play guitar, and I know I heard bass in one of your videos. So I know you play acoustic and electric. Can sing heavy metal. Ugh. 60 bucks. That's what I'm talking about. I thought it would be like 80 to 100. So 60, and then I can get some sand and water, and I'm good to go. Now, how loud is it? Like if I find a corner of my store, can I let it run 24/7? And is it going to bother me? Or like if I find a room where I can put it in a separate room, is it going to be loud enough that it's going to be annoying? Because I know a lot of people put them off in like a far away garage or separate building because you have to run them for like 3 weeks, and it sounds like rocks in a dryer. A double three barrel. I don't even know what that means. I know, right, Willow? Well, that's what I was going to talk about this tonight, but then I got like, I am kind of tired actually. I think you guys are right. I was going to talk about how like doing things faster makes them more exciting. Doing anything faster makes life more exciting. And one of the ways to do things faster without it feeling like you're just pushing yourself uphill is to make it a game. Like, how many of these can I do in an hour, and then try to beat your record. And that can make anything fun, like even like housework or chores or stuff you normally don't think of as fun. M. Berwick, yes, I've been thinking about t-shirt design since forever. That's like my favorite thing in the world. I used to draw on t-shirts and paint them when I was a teenager. So yeah, maybe it's time. I should put out the Matt's Crazy Art t-shirts. I wonder if you can choose the prices too, or if Teespring just chooses them for you. Because I feel like their t-shirts are like 25, and I don't know if that's kind of high. I would like them to be lower if possible, but I don't know how that works. I'll have to look into it. Okay, James, grit kits. Let me write this down. Grit kits on Amazon for 30, no way. Grit kits, does that include the tumbler or is that just the sand? You said the tumbler is 60. The grit kits are 30. And where would you get the tumbler? Also from Amazon? Maybe that's better than Harbor Freight. It's better on concrete or very solid floor. Okay, I have a tile floor, so that should be good. It's tile with concrete underneath it, and it's a ground floor. I'm on the ground. I'm not like on a second level. Melvin. Let's put Melvin on a t-shirt. Oh, hello, Australia Jane. As we like to say to Australians, the formal greeting is wallaby. Painting sneakers sounds really fun. That's like a high art where people charge a lot of money, like 250 bucks if they become known for painting sneakers. I want to do that too. That looks so fun. You only get a small amount percentage? That's dumb. I thought they would take the small amount percentage and they would give you most of it. So I wonder what the percentage is. Yeah, 18 sounds better. Just doodle with Sharpies. Yeah, I'll just do a design and then put it on at my Etsy shop. Like, here's a t-shirt, here's me drawing on the t-shirt. Someone buy it. Baxter Monkey had a great idea for a video that I still have to do. It's on my list. I think I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is. It'll be a surprise. Yeah, mugs. That's fun too. Yeah, t-shirt making equipment. I probably could do it myself. Michael Torella, who was on earlier, he was doing t-shirts for a minute, but I think he sold his equipment. I could design a scarf and write scarf on it. I could do that. Oh, scarf it. Yeah, as wooden box with soundproofing. That shouldn't be too hard because I have a lot of wood left over from taking apart my last kiosk, and I have a lot of soundproof tiles from the 2 different times I tried to make a recording studio and then never finished. Oh. Oh yeah, I am getting tired. You guys are right. I'm gonna end in like 5 minutes. Even though I'm enjoying this conversation and you guys are super awesome, like I think I better stay healthy. Maybe 10 minutes. Let's go 10 more minutes. Yes, we call them scrubs. Who said meds? That's really awesome. We call them meds. I like meds better. Scrubs sounds goofy, but it sounds kind of cute at the same time. Oh, I'd love to spray paint the t-shirts. That would be fun. Yeah, I could spray paint. Can you use regular spray paint on t-shirts, or does it make them hard and like crusty? Because I know there's airbrush guns they make for t-shirts, but I don't want to learn that. That's too much work. I have a ton of spray paint cans. Can I just spray paint the t-shirts and sell them as is? Yeah, I could have Melvin like right in the corner there, like, and it'll just say Matt's Crazy Art and just have Melvin, and then I could just do some light patterns around the rest of the t-shirt. Should I do black? I think black sounds better because I always wear black. Like white is the easiest, but I feel like black would be cooler. So let's say I got a whole bunch of t-shirts and I just got Melvin, just a little tiny icon on the little like top corner. That shouldn't be too much, right? Get that online, get that made, have them delivered, and then I take each one and paint it differently with the spray paint. So everybody has like a slight original. Oh, I like this idea. I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna put Melvin in the corner. This is like a brainstorming session. You guys are helping me more than me help you. I love it. Say Matt's Crazy Art. And then I'll spray paint each one a little different, just like really light airbrush, just like cool colors, not anything like really loud, just like gentle like reds and blues over the black. But everyone will have one a little different, and then we'll just put them on the Etsy store, and you won't know which one you're getting. They'll all look similar, but you'll just get an original. And what should I charge on the Etsy store? What does it cost to mail a t-shirt also? I bet it's not that much. I bet it's still $5 or $6 though, because the mail is a jerk. So what do you think I should charge for each shirt? Like, let's say the person still has to pay $5 or $6 for the shipping. You think 18 is good? Well, yeah, miserable. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I would do with the paint. Sophie is doing great. She's super cute. Every time I see her, I want to videotape her because she does all these. I call her the little ballerina. Everything she does when she walks, when she stretches, when she poses, she's just, everything about her is elegant. And it's like, she doesn't even realize it. She just, everything she does is so like ballerina-ish. But then as soon as I turn on the camera, she just stops, sits there like a statue as if she knows. Althea says 15. Althea, tell me if I'm saying your name right. I've never heard it spoken. And Lisa says 18. Double the cost plus shipping. Double the cost. Yeah, I don't know what the cost will be, so that's a good point. But I like 18. 18 sounds like a good. Yeah, I would airbrush with fabric paint, but I have all these spray paint cans. Yeah, black with white Melvin, right, or blue Melvin or something like that. And I don't know if you can use regular spray paint on clothes. I'm assuming you can. How different could it be from airbrush fabric paint, right? $3 each? You think it's that low? It seems, I feel like it was that low when I was a baby. Well, it's $3 to get the, yeah, I believe you could get three if you just buy a huge bulk black t-shirts. But if we want to have Melvin put on them, that's going to cost more. Unless I literally draw Melvin on each one, that would be fun. But then writing Matt's Crazy Art on each one, that would be, I don't know if that would look a little bit too unprofessional. No, I do not think spray paint washes out. That stuff clings to everything. I mean, think about it. Spray paint is what they graffiti artists use on a stone wall that is going to have to withstand hurricane winds, snow, and rain for the next 30 years, and it's still going to be there. I'm pretty sure a washing machine is not going to hurt. Christy says 20 to 25. Airbrushing is fun and I love it, and I would say it's not difficult, but there's spray paint cans, which I'm used to, and then there's airbrushing where you actually have an entire kit with this hose thing with a nozzle, and then you have to get special paints and you have to know how to load them, and all that stuff is just stuff I don't have time to learn right now. It's just me being lazy again. But oh yeah, you could use bleach to do like a tie-dye thing too. Bleach looks cool on black. It doesn't turn it white. It turns it like shades of gray and brown and more tan. It kind of turns it like shades of champagne and other, depending on how heavy it goes on different parts, and then it has like a fade effect. Oh, Stan looked it up. And regular spray paint works on clothing. Thank you, Stan. Tote bags would be fun. Let's write down tote bags too. Buying art that disappears. Is Baxter Monkey still here? She was telling me a story about buying art that disappears. There's a famous story about that many of you probably heard of it. See if anybody knows what I'm talking about. It's the most famous story of buying art that disappears. What is that riddle? What is that story? Good night, Tim. Thanks for hanging out. 25 to 30. We're getting up there now. But then again, I always price myself low, right? Those kits were ridiculous. I was giving them away so low. It took me a while to figure out what a better price is. Yeah, Christy, that's what I'm worried about. The spray paint making the shirt not soft to wear, making it like kind of like crusty and hard, like you said. But I think spray paint is really thin. It's not like regular paint. Like when you just dust it, it goes on really thin. So I don't think it would make it crusty. Yeah, rusty. That's what it is. Rusty. Yeah, like a burn, Dino says, and Lori, yeah. Like bleach. And then I have to figure out how to control the bleach because bleach is hard to. I've tried bleaching stuff on purpose a couple times, and it is really hard to control. Like you put a tiny little bit and nothing shows, and then you put a tiny bit more, and then way too much. It's like, I think it depends how much you water down the bleach, probably. That would be fun though, to line up a whole bunch of t-shirts on a table and take the bleach and just be like, just splatter it back and forth, just go down the whole line like zigzag, and then go back across it with another pattern and then flick it and get little dots and polka dots and junk. Yeah, I think powder coating motorcycles is tiny bit different, just a tiny bit. It's like one extreme to the other. That's like, it's like putting put your t-shirt in the kiln and see how that comes out. I laid my coat over the top of a kiln once that was cooling down. Ridiculous me, because it was freezing winter, and I thought if I put my coat over it for like 10 seconds, it'll absorb the heat, and then when I put it on, it'll be nice and toasty, like when you put your clothes in the dryer or when you get something right out of the dryer. Well, I forgot about it and it was there for a whole minute. And that was the end of my coat. It had giant holes burned through it just from sitting on top of a kiln that was cooling. Even a little bit of bleach splash, it weakens the fabric? Really? That's not cool. I don't like that. There you go, James Hurley, the picture that shredded itself. It only went for 12,000. I thought it went for like way more. Yeah, Australia. That's, I know. I'm sorry. Even sending it to Canada right now is super expensive. Yeah, I should probably just take a shirt and try it out and see how it comes out and then wash it a couple times in the dryer. And I mean in the washer and dryer. What's a head pin? I don't know. So Baxter Monkey, you've tried using bleach to design to add designs to clothing. That's a good idea, Willow. Like a stencil. Yeah, I'd love to do tie dye, but tie dye is so like done. It's so generic. I did a bunch of tie dye at a camp when I was a kid. It looks amazing, but I mean, you can get a tie dyed shirt that looks amazing at like a beach shop for $10. But you know, I could do tie dye. I could take the tie dye and just do other types of patterns that aren't what looks traditional tie dye. Traditional tie dye that has the spiral like that with like the rainbow. And everybody who's most of you've probably done it, you know it's made. But you take the t-shirt and you take this part and you crinkle it and twist it and then put a bunch of rubber bands on it and then you dip it in one color and then a little bit more in another color and a little bit more in another color and then you take it off and if you do it right you get this spiral rainbow and then you can wear long hair with beads and like be like and say man a lot. Hey man. Bathroom cleaner for a tie-dye look. So look, Baxter Monkey is sitting here doing all this stuff already. I bet Baxter Monkey has a rock tumbler and does glass blowing in the backyard and everything. Here I am acting like I've done things. Althea, who are you disagreeing with? I'm missing half this conversation. Right, right. You tie it off with rubber bands. No, I have not. I have not. You guys know all this stuff. I don't know anything. Yeah, let's get mugs too while we're at it. Let's get mugs. So you think I shouldn't go through Teespring? I should just do it on my own and get mugs, Matt's Crazy Art. Let's find out how much it is to get a mug with Matt's Crazy Art on it, and then I'll add to it. Now the mug, once I, the mug, once I if I could get my kiln working again, then I could totally add some colored melted glass to that. That would be cool. Vistaprint, yeah, I think Vistaprint is a big enough company that they probably have good prices. I know everybody uses them for business cards, which are no longer a thing that works. I've spoken on many times. Matt's crazy merch. Instaprint. Did you mean to say Instaprint, or is that another company, or that was just a typo? I think we're going the full 2 hours, guys. I was going to cut out 20 minutes ago, but we're pretty much there. And you guys are giving me all this helpful info. Yeah, no, if I did Vistaprint, I would send them my pattern. I would create the pattern for Matt's Crazy Art. I wouldn't have them use a stock pattern. Oh, a transfer. Someone was saying transfer earlier, like a transfer onto the clothing transfer. Yeah, that's a good point. Or someone else was saying like a some kind of nylon plastic transfer. I don't know. Oh yeah, mugs are microwave proof, of course. If I were to get a mug, I wouldn't get those paints that you paint on. No, I would like get real glaze that's used in pottery, and I'd add some glaze to the mug and then put it in the kiln and fire it up to like 2100 degrees, so the glass melts over the surface, and yeah, it's totally microwave safe. Oh, good night. I didn't even know Debbie was here. I'm not paying attention. I wonder if Vistaprint is doing masks. They would be really smart if they were. Custom masks. I bet custom masks are blowing up right now. Oh yeah, I don't want to make towels or blankets or dresses, but that is a good point. Yeah, masks are turning into a fashion statement. What's wild, right? Baxter Monkey, glass or ceramic paints. That'll get me by until the pottery studio opens again. Glass or ceramic paints you can use in a conventional oven. I have a lot of Googling to do after this. Really fun stuff to look up. Christy, you sound like a hospital staff. Beverly does not like the idea of someone hoarding masks. I don't think they're hoarding them. I think technically you can make a mask out of almost any fabric and a couple rubber bands. You'd think, oh no, it needs to be medically blah 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 to block all the blah blah blah. And doctors are like, no, actually a scarf, a regular scarf wrapped around your face, because it's thicker, can block more stuff than some lower grade surgical masks. So you can Google it and try to find the right kind of fabrics, and you can put all kinds of layers, but technically just get certain types of fabrics and 2 rubber bands, and you can make masks and sell them and put your logo on them. Zoo Printing. I'll check them out and see if they have better prices. Zoo Printing. Oh man, you should see this page right now. It is just a mess. I don't write stuff on lines and down consecutively. I just write stuff wherever my hand falls when I look down. And there are just bubbles of words all over this page. It's pretty crazy. No, Laura, I think by the time my store opens, I was saying I don't have artists come to my store. I have customers come to my store, usually not artists. You guys are my artist friends. You're the ones who know all this stuff. And you guys are the ones who are I'm selling kits to. Um, I could do a hat. I don't know how many. I don't know if enough people wear hats to make it as in demand. Yeah, technically. Good night, everyone who's leaving. I'll be on till an even 2 hours, which is about another 9 minutes. Technically, as far as we know, the virus spreads in water droplets. It's not. It doesn't float through the air like dust. It doesn't float through the air and drift up on a current and it's not carried on the wind across the street and across the wilderness. So like if you cough, somebody like 300 feet away down a trail is not going to get it. I could be wrong, but this is exactly what I'm hearing everyone saying. Um, Whoa, am I that behind on the comments? I suddenly see a whole burst of comments. Hold on, let me catch up. Matt's crazy art on your butt. So that's cool. Costume theory is making. Okay, no, I'm caught up now. Good night, Kimmy. Yeah, like, so it's water droplets. Water droplets are the bad thing. Every time you talk, there's a chance, depending on who you are, that you're spitting or just giving off vapor from your mouth. That's why they say 6 feet, because most of this water droplet vapor stuff only goes a foot or two or three and then drops to the ground. Um, so you wearing a mask actually protects more people from you than you from them. And it just catches the vapor coming out of your mouth. That's it. Sneezing, coughing, or just talking catches it. That's 99% of the problem, as far as I know, or more. That's why, like, just putting your shirt up like this is probably doing more than 90% of better than just having your face open. Um, but sometimes you feel like what? You guys are silly. Um, so I have a lot of stuff to look into. I have rock tumbling, glass and ceramic paints, tote bags, t-shirts and mugs, wire hangers, zoo printing, grit kits, how to make a design with Melvin and how to transfer it onto a t-shirt. Baxter Monkey's talking about pottery now. I'd have to wait until the ceramic studio that I use reopens. I did make a square mug. It was wild. I made it way too hard on myself, but years ago I made a couple mugs square and then I had them come up to be round because it's when you drink something square, everything the liquid's going to go out the corners, or you could turn it towards the corner and drink it like a pitcher. But just so people had a normal mug, I made like a little tiny cylinder at the top, and then I had a cube, cylindrical cube base, and then I put the cylinder on top of the base, and then I wedged clay to try to make it blend from the round to from the square to the round. It was a big mess. It took way too much time, but it came out really cool. And then I sold it for like $20 because I didn't know how to sell back then. Probably took me like 8 hours to make it. I made a few of them. I made one of them literally, it was square and it twisted like my twisty vases. It twisted like this, and then it turned round, and even the handle was like funky square. It was wild, and I think I sold it for $20. Oh, I could totally, in the pottery studio, I could totally just make a bunch of little like cubes. I could just make a bunch of cubes that say Matt's Crazy Art, and guys could put your pliers and tools in there. That would be fun, and your pencils. Yeah, James is the tumbler guy. He's the expert, and there's a couple other people in here who know about tumbling. It looks like. Biker patches. Debbie says biker patches. All right, so my assistant goes to bed really early, so she probably doesn't know this because we were set on a schedule to do 3 kits a day. But I don't think that's good enough. I don't think that's going to get them out fast enough to the like literally hundreds of people who want them and are stuck in quarantine. So tomorrow I'm going to make it like a raid. It's going to be like a wild contest to see how fast I can make as many kits and sell them as fast as possible. But I'm still going to put them out one at a time. I'm not going to do the Etsy thing where they all go to total strangers in 5 minutes. So all of you who are on the Stone Kits page, pay attention tomorrow. I'm going to try to put out a kit like literally every half hour. I'm just going to try to knock it out, put them out really fast, sell them really fast. I'm going to auction some of them, and then some of them I'm just going to say buy it now for whatever price. They're all going to be different, like some, because I don't have enough stones to make them all the same. Like some will have a little of this, some will have a little of that, some will be blue, some will be purple, some will have more of whatever. But and any of you who are on that group already, starting at probably 9:30, 10 Eastern Standard Time in the morning, and then going all the way through to 9 o'clock at night, like maybe 12 straight hours, 11 or 12. And I'm just going to see how many we can put out. So hopefully I can talk her into it, because I just got her set up doing the schedule, and she's very happy doing the schedule. And now I'm going to flip it in one day, and hopefully that's not going to cause some what's it called, friction. But if it does cause friction, we might not do it tomorrow. We might do it tomorrow. We might stick to the schedule, and then I'll wait till Thursday, because Thursday she's off and I'll just do it by myself. But it would be fun to do it with her, because we can get it done much faster, especially the packaging and getting the addresses right. Like I scare myself every once in a while. Once so far I sent something to the wrong address out of like probably 150 things we've sent between Etsy and the Stone Kits in the last 3 months. One time I sent something to a post office box and I changed one number. My gosh, it was such a nightmare. I couldn't make the piece again. I didn't have the right beads. I had to make the person something else and send them something different. So tomorrow we'll say if I can work it out with my assistant, we will, because I don't want to totally stress her out. She just took over this thing. But if we can do this, I want to just do a raid and do one every half hour and just do as fast as possible. Lisa, you want to join the group on Facebook? Type in stone/beads, literally stone/beads kits group. It's a group with that name on Facebook. Join it, and that's where we're posting these kits. And all you do is comment on the post. You either win an auction, like we have people bid, or sometimes we just say first person to comment wins. And then we message you. And if you have PayPal, we take your PayPal, we take your address, package it up, mail it to you the next morning. Christy says I am correct about the water vapor. Yep, that's the name, Chris. Chris spelled the name exactly how it is. You want to go to Facebook, find the search bar, and type that in, and you'll find it, hopefully. It's not that big a group. There's probably a lot of groups with similar names, but I don't think any other group has that exact name. Sarah's going to hitchhike over here. Hitchhikers are probably really popular right now with everything going on. Yes, thank you, Lavender. You're the only one who says, everybody says don't delete it. Yes, I want to delete it. I don't like clutter on my page. Then everybody gets confused and they're spending all this time looking at a post that has already been sold. All right, we're at 2 hours. I'm going to say good night, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Yes, Chris says the same thing. Thank you guys for all the ideas. If any of you find specific answers to any of these questions that are definites, feel free to message me. What's it called? Otherwise, I'll see you in videos. I will see you in the Facebook group, the 2 Facebook groups. There's also Matt's Crazy Art group, where you can just post your own art, or just say hi to everybody. So I'll see you guys in all those places. Hopefully have a good night, be safe, and take care, and let's have a great week. And hopefully either tomorrow, if not tomorrow, then Thursday, we're going to do a crazy blitz. And see you later.